Depa on our left on the Spanish channel is about to go absolutely mental in the Spanish style, and why not? So yeah, here we are now live at the finish line.
They're going to welcome him home with quite the round of applause. It's so cool to be finishing down in the heart of the city like this.
Yeah. And he's got the time so he can enjoy it and kind of high-five all the crowd.
Coast his way in those final 100 meters or so.
And then this is where even non-runners are stood in the finish going, maybe I'm going to do one of these races next year. It's kind of so infectious.
That's exactly what I'm thinking right now, too.
So yeah, Debo, last year when you came around that corner, it was so awesome. So yeah.
At that point, it was still a drag race between three of them
sure
last year. Here he comes.
Pablo.
Yes.
Yes.
Unbutton the vest.
Oh, so much joy.
Yes.
Yes.
Pure joy.
Just soaking it in. That's amazing. What a feeling.
So Pablo Villa-Gonzalez, Team Wild Trail Project. Wow, respect. Chapeau.
He's fought for this so hard all day.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, he and I ran in the lead of the race basically all day until Les Contamine last year where he dropped out. And I'm sure it feels even sweeter given last year's disappointment.
What a finish.
It's pretty great.
Oh, yes. A nice intimate kiss. Luckily, nobody else is watching.
Yeah. A little privacy.
There it is, the finishing arch, the iconic part of the UTMB, as well as the Mont-Blanc and all of the runners.
Receiving a hug from Catherine Poletti, the race director of the UTMB.
Il trionfo della Spagna, il quarto sulla TDS, Pablo Villa-Gonzalez.
So Pablo can enjoy this because let's say Dimitri's at least 15 minutes away, so so he can kind of do the high fives and do everything that he's doing. So yeah, so Dimitri is due in the next 15 minutes. So yeah, 20 past 10.
Yeah, it looks like Dimitri is about to hit. He's almost to the pavement section coming off the river trail. There is what his tracker is showing right now. Not an easy race for him either. He's worked for it all day as well. I mean, everyone has, right?
Oh, yes.
L'incredibile gioia di Pablo Villa-Gonzalez. È il quarto ispanico che vince la TDS. Chamonix applaude la TDS. Pablo Villa-Gonzalez.
Come on and cheer your winner, absolute winner here today. Pablo Villa-Gonzalez for Spain. His first victory ever here in Chamonix. Fantastic victory, and what a guy.
Looks super fresh. And he's worked hard for this today.
Tantas horas solo, desde las 9 de la mañana, ha ido primero, ha mantenido esa imagen durante todo el día, increíble, qué fortaleza mental, qué fortaleza físico.
Well, I think that 18-hour standard is going to be a pretty good mark for other people to hit here in coming years. It seems that Pablo absolutely knocked it out of the park today. So I think, other people will have a really hard time matching that effort.
They're so invested.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Dimitri. We're going to see a lot more of Dimitri and Ekaterina in the years to come.
Yeah. I think Dimitri's, probably only 27 or 28 years old, so he's got a lot of good years of running ahead of him, and I think he's been smart with his career too. He's focusing more on the shorter distance races and then sort of stepping up when it makes sense to races like TDS and only doing them a couple of times a year at most.
Yeah.
Great smile there for Dimitri.
Yeah,
He's happy.
We'll see Ekaterina here come into screen here. They are quite the duo.
There she is.
Well, there's Katrine, the race director. There's Ekaterina.
He's like, let me go to bed now so I can run UTMB on Friday. But congratulations, dear.
And Dimitri will be out crewing for her. We actually ran into them in town earlier this week, and we asked him if he was crewing at Katerina, and he didn't understand what we said at first, and he said no. And at Katerina, who has the better English, that she turned and kind of yelled at him, and he's like, oh, yes, I am crewing at Katerina.
That's great. They can share that together. It's, I'm sure, really special for them.
They are
exhausting but special.
We'll have to ask him if we get a chance to speak to him whether he values the second place more than the third place, because this year he kind of, last year maybe because he was in the lead and kind of so yeah. But yeah, well done. We've thoroughly enjoyed watching Dimitri all the way since this morning at 4 a.m. and
I love how happy everyone looks at the finish, and everyone here in the studio too. Like big smiles across everyone's faces. I can tell. I can physically feel how hungry Dylan is to get back out there.
I mean, this really is the greatest feeling in the world. Is just putting yourself through something so difficult and so profound, and then getting to the finish line and proving to yourself that you can do it. It's just the purest satisfaction there is in life, at least that I've found. And yeah, I wish I could be out there with these guys, but it sure is fun to watch.
And you forget how hard it was, like almost instantaneously. For a second, you like forget that maybe it was really hard for 50K there in the middle.
What's also great is you look at how many young kids there are in the crowd.
Yeah,
this is a great sport as for those guys to kind of like, oh, I'd like to kind of do that, and you guys are wonderful role models. And I'm not sucking up to you now. Maybe a little bit. So he's the first French winner, so well done, Ludo.
What a race for Ludo today.
Yeah, he'll be happy with this.
The classic half smile, half grimace. He must be thrilled with his race today.
In photos, it'll definitely look like a smile.
Yep. What a comeback for Ludo. It's a proud podium performance.
An incredible run from Ludovic Pomerleau. So
come on, Halvard, hang on to fourth place, man. You've been right at the front all day.
Now I'm really hoping that Ludo and Dimitri reenact their photo from High Trail Tarentaise, where Dimitri's quads are approximately twice the size of Ludo's, and it's the greatest photo of the two happiest guys, showing off their strong running legs. This victory lap looks a little bit more tiring for him than maybe the first two guys.
It's rare you see somebody using the reservoir and hose hydration system anymore.
I will say Hillary is running with a bladder.
She is.
Oh, is she?
She is, yeah.
She was really worried about how far apart the aid stations were, and she opted for a bladder, and she's carrying a soft flask for if she needed it as well.
It's really smart, and especially, like I mentioned in this race, you only see your crew 3 times over the course of 90 miles, so you really do need to be self-sufficient. So
yeah, you see a lot of water carrying today by the athletes. You can say they were really smart today on that.
I mean, the thing that sets TDS apart, I mean, besides the more technical terrain and the long but steep nature of the race, is the fact that the aid stations are incredibly far apart. Independent of not seeing your crew as much as UTMB, the actual aid stations are incredibly far apart as well.
Yeah, I remember filling up out of streams at least 2 or 3 times during the race last year.
I mean, I distinctly remember being desperate before we ever got to Bourg Saint Maurice and some of those long stretches early on, because we just had some of that like mid-morning heat a little bit last year.
That's so great.
Le bonheur. Merci frérot pour tout ce que tu nous offres. On va te laisser aller t'asseoir 2 petites secondes et je vais venir te rejoindre pour un interview. Je crois que vous pouvez l'applaudir très fort.
A big round of applause for our third place athletes from France.
So happy to sit down.